Hey guys, welcome back to Researcher Stripped. My name's Bella, and I hope you've been really enjoying our content. If you don't know what we're about or what we're doing, please go back to the beginning of our channel, listen, subscribe, like, share. Anything to help out our channel is so appreciated. And to everyone who has been supporting us in our early beginning, thank you, thank you, thank you. You have no idea what it means to us. But anyway, let's get started with our topic today. Today we're going to be talking about how to attract regulars, which is, in my opinion, the most difficult thing. Now, in my last video, I covered how to become, a dancer on your first day, how to deal with that. This is something that even if you've been working at a club for months, it is going to be incredibly difficult to attract and attain regulars. So I'm going to give you my best tips and tricks. Number one, do not give your personal information out to someone the first time you meet them. Even if you have a great connection with them, you think that they are wonderful, you think that they're going to be a regular. Do not do that. This is what I recommend. When they ask you for your information, you say, I'm not allowed to do that, but I really want to get to know you. I don't mind breaking the rules if you are somebody that I can trust. Do you think that maybe next week on Friday you could come and spend a little bit more time with me so I can get to know you before I give you something so personal? They will come back. And if they don't, then they weren't going to be your regular anyway. This is a safety mechanism because you do not want to give your private information away to somebody that, first of all, could potentially be fucking a serial killer, abduct you, sell you into human sex trafficking. You don't just give your information away. And that's usually very looked down upon at the clubs, but that is how you attain regulars. So be very discreet, be very smart, be very conscientious who you're giving your information to, because it is not hard to track someone after they have your number. Not trying to scare you, but I'm being very realistic. Some of the people that come in are not worthy of your trust. So once you've found a couple of men or women that seem to be really great, they've been coming to see you, you connect well, this is when you want to give them your information. But when you do, I don't recommend giving away your number. If that's the only way of communication you have, then do it, or do a text me now number. But I would prefer to hand out my Snapchat. That way it's not affiliated with my number. You can't find out my location. It's just an app, a communication social media app. And then you can start formulating conversations, even send pictures. That's why I like Snapchat so much, because it becomes more of a physical and personal visual engagement than it is a very mental, annoying, taxing conversation through text message. After you've been doing that, they are going to try to get you to meet them outside of the club. That is where you have to set your boundaries and your lines thoroughly. You let them know, hey, I have a great connection with you. I adore you. I think you're wonderful, but you did meet me at my job, and although I love being able to communicate with you, I don't feel comfortable meeting outside of the club for a while. You want to say it this way, for a while, in a very vague way. That way you are not held to any expectation or time frame to meet them out of the club ever if you don't want to. I don't recommend doing that unless you really get to know someone. There's only ever been 2 people I've met outside of the club, and it's because I had them come meet me at the club every week for a year. And I got to know them. I got to know their habits. I got to know their schedule. I got to know what is it that they have that could be jeopardized by doing something to me. Once you've gotten a really good idea as to who these people are, what they're about, what kind of individual they are, then you can start opening up about your personality, the real you, the private you, because what they want is intimacy. That does not always mean sexual but they want intimacy. They want to know that you are trusting them, that they are special, that they are worth becoming your regular, that they shouldn't be entertaining another woman. You want to give bits and pieces of yourself at a time. I do not ever recommend giving away your address, your family address, if you have another job, a different work location. That is a recipe for disaster. You could be followed home, you could be tracked, you could be monitored. You don't want that. So instead, I used to live in, I'm just gonna make it up. Let's say I lived in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I didn't want them to know exactly what part of Cincinnati, Ohio I lived in, so I would just say, oh, I live in Cincinnati. Oh, what part? Well, at the time I lived in Forest Park, so I'd say Fairfield. It's not quite lying. That way, if you do tell them the truth, you know, Fairfield and Forest Park are right next to each other. So I'm not lying to them, I'm just being very vague. You want to be vague with these people until you know with 100% certainty that they are worth trusting and that they are good, kind, innocent people just looking to have fun. But once they start to get this feeling of, oh, she's opening up to me, she's telling me things that she's not telling him, they're gonna come back. They're gonna come back, and they're gonna come back. Once they're starting to get these kinds of attractions and feelings, these interpersonal relationships with you that they've been craving, they might try to take it outside of the club. Actually, they will try to take it outside of the club, and that is up to your discretion if you feel comfortable doing that or not. I will post another video on my opinions on that and how to do that safely as well. But for today's video, we are going to solely be talking about how to have regulars at the club. So now we've already discussed asking them to come back once in order to see if they are legitimately interested. We've talked about slowly getting to know them, somehow creating a schedule for them to come back. After you've had that first interaction with them and they come back the next week or, you know, the next time, and they've shown you, okay, I'm a person of my word, that's when you can give them some form of social media, start communicating with them, start getting them feeling comfortable, start allowing them to be a little bit closer to you. And then when they're coming to the club, you can build off of that, start building that close relationship. Eventually, it will just become a regular thing. That's why they're called regulars. They'll begin to miss you because they know that they can't see you outside of the club, that all they can do is connect with you through a phone or text message or social media. That can become very daunting for them. So they're going to want to spend more and more time with you as they get to know you as a person. I shouldn't have to say this, but don't lie to people. Don't lie to men. I shouldn't have to tell you that, but if you need to hear it, then you need to hear it. Do not fill these men's heads up with lies. When I say give them personal information slowly throughout time, I mean things like, you know, this experience happened to me and it really bothered me, it hurt me. Let them open up to your vulnerable side, but that does not mean fill their head with lies. I have seen many women attract regulars this way. And first of all, that is short-term money. They are going to learn very quickly you do not want to be with them, that you are using them for money, that this is a job to you. The reason I'm telling you to go about it in this way is because this allows them to feel important, to not feel used, to attain the truth while getting to know you. Obviously, if you're trying to get a regular, you don't want to say things like, oh, I have a boyfriend, or, oh, I am a lesbian, or, oh, I am this, I'm that, unless they're into that kind of thing. Some guys really like being with women who are already taken by someone else, but most of the time, men aren't looking for that. They are looking for some sort of intimate one-on-one connection. So being vague, like, if they ask you if you have a boyfriend, just say, I don't have time for a boyfriend. I'm more concerned about making sure I am able to take care of myself right now. And let's say you do have a boyfriend. As you're slowly getting to know this person, introduce them to the idea of you dating someone. So for example, say, yeah, I've been working so hard. I'm doing so much better for myself. I actually got asked to go out on a date and I went, and it was actually really enjoyable. It made me feel like maybe I could start trying to get back into the scene of dating. I really liked him, to gauge a response without saying, I'm dating this person. That might be too much for them to handle. They might cut you off. You can gauge responses by saying bits and pieces of the truth without hurting them or leading them on. I have seen one girl specifically affect one of my clients in a horrible way. He wanted love at the club, which I told him, honey, don't do that. That's bad. Recipe for disaster. No bueno. But him being the hopeless romantic that he is, he wanted to save a poor woman from the club and love her and take her away from all of her pain, traumas, X, Y, and Z. So when I was upfront with him, I told him, yeah, I respect you so much, but I can't give you that. But if you want, you can come here, we can hang out, we can be friends, we can have a great time, but I don't feel comfortable providing you with a romantic relationship. He said, I'd still love to continue seeing you, but I'm also going to start seeing other women at the club now because that is what I'm looking for. I said, okay, go for it. This girl, who obviously had a boyfriend, told my client, I'm single, I'm looking to get married, I've been waiting for my dream man to walk through the club doors. And of course, he was like, wow, this could be my person. And I'm telling you, she strung him along and along and along and along. And she cost him $50,000 at least. I'm not even going to say the real number. I'm very close to him and I'm not trying to reveal his dirt, but it was a lot of money. And I bet she's feeling great about her finances, but morally, I just don't know how she lives with herself. Don't lead these men on. They might be coming to the club for entertainment. Some men might even degrade you, make you feel gross about yourself, but do not lead them on. That is just wrong. And like I said, leads to short-term money. Because after he picked up on the picture, she doesn't want to be with me, she's using me, guess what? He never spoke to her again. If you're looking for consistency, be consistent, be kind, be courteous, be honest, but not too honest. I really hope some of these tips and tricks have helped you. If you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, message me. I want you to be safe. I don't want you to ever put yourself in a bad position. But before I sign off, I do have one amazing tip and trick to get you out of any bad situation. So there's always those guys at the club that are like, I just spent all this money on you. You better give me your information or I'm never coming back to see you again. Blah, 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 blah. And you feel obligated. You feel pressured. You're scared of what they might do, how they might react if you say no. Here's a trick and here's a tip. Give them your number, but on the last two numbers, switch them. 5227 instead of 5272, or you could do 5263 because 7263. That way, if when they reach out to you and you don't respond and they come back and they are pissed, which they will be, you say, oh, you put my number in wrong. You must have been so drunk or had such a good time, you probably typed it in wrong. And do the same fucking thing again until you feel like you can trust them with your real number. And if you don't feel like you can ever trust them with your real number, keep playing that game. As long as they're coming back, keep doing it. It gets you out of trouble. It makes them think that you are giving your trust to them. And then when they get mad, they have no right to yell at you because it was a simple error on their end. No, that sounds manipulative, but it is a safe tactic I've used, and it has honestly saved me from very uncomfortable situations in the past. And now I'm signing off. So now I hope you have a great day. Go get those fucking regulars, respect them, and they will respect you. Get that bag. If you've got any questions, comments, concerns, message me. You know my email. It's in the bio. Have a great day, guys.